We will be live for the Cowboys 49ers matchup this playoff Sunday. If we get to 150,000 subscribers before kickoff of that game, special one-time offer for you guys. I will do a beer bong live on air. Maybe we'll get producer Sam to do it as well, but I can't speak for him because I have not talked about that idea yet, and I don't want to put words in his mouth. But I'll do one at minimum. We're about 100 away, but it's got to be done before kickoff. So sub right now. Tell your friends, free potential bonus beer bong on top of all the other things we will do on air for that live watch party. Subscribe right now. Tomorrow is game day, so we'll do one more kind of, sort of, little mini preview beyond the previous one we have done here on the Cowboys Report. Updated lines as of filming, the Niners -4. That line has fluctuated a decent amount. This is a very tough matchup, I would say, for both sides. I think you can make a very real and I would almost say easily convincing argument that these are the best teams each other have played. Cowboys, Niners, Niners, Cowboys. They're both very good football teams if they play their A game, and can have an A game from both sides that goes all the way down to the wire. So we're looking at 5 things that must happen for the Cowboys to upset the 49ers this Sunday. Number 1, seems kind of obvious, but we'll say it anyway. Quarterback has to play great. The Niners across the board are a great team. And if you take out the quarterback, so we can get rid of teams like the Chiefs, for example, I think the Niners have perhaps the best roster in the NFL. You cannot play with your food for 2 quarters, fart around a little bit, and go, time to wake up and go play football and win. This is not the Colts. This is not the Texans or the Titans. Their A game can beat your A game. There are only a few teams in the NFL who I feel fit that mold. You have to play well, and that means your quarterback has to play well. I don't think you have a very good chance of winning this football game if your quarterback plays like he did last year against this team. If he plays like he did against the Bucs, you're going to have a tough time losing, which is a very obvious thing to say, although we've seen quarterbacks play great games and still lose. The quarterback still gets blamed. But if Dak can stay on this, I'm not anticipating that level of play, to be honest. The Bucs defense is good. The Niners defense is the best one in the NFL. But if he can play a strong football game, the Cowboys can absolutely upset the Niners. I think Mike McCarthy should be playing the "we're nobody's underdog" card this week. Use that spread. Use what's being said about them. Because the Niners are a great football team. But if your quarterback balls out, again, you're going to have a very real shot of winning this football game. So pick the score for me of the Cowboys against the Niners. Maybe you're talking yourself in or out of Dallas making it to the NFC Championship game for the first time in too many years. It's the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and pick the score for me at the pinned comment. Number 2 thing that must happen, you have to tackle, and that is your defensive line, your linebackers, and as we'll get into, the cornerbacks as well, one name in particular. The 49ers terrify me with what they're able to do once the ball is out of the quarterback's hand. You can make a real argument that Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell are the best backfield in football. McCaffrey's been insanely dynamic since arriving in San Francisco. Week 7, right? When Dak came back and the Niners got Christian McCaffrey, 2 teams are averaging over 30 points per game. Absurd numbers. It's the Niners and the Cowboys. Mitchell's now healthy. He gives you a more traditional run threat. McCaffrey gives you the running and the receiving. Oh, and Deebo Samuel can also catch and run the football. It's a nightmare to defend. They are an elite football team on the ground. It's the offense. They will attack wide, and that is where the Cowboys have had run issues all year long. It's containing the edges. Run left is how you run against the Cowboys. I promise you, Shanahan knows that, even if Byron Leftwich apparently did not. They've also got the yard after catch monsters, right? Deebo Samuel will turn a 5-yard check down into a 70-yard score. He did it last week. Well, I guess a 9-yard check down, but still. So your corners have to tackle Deebo Samuel. They have to tackle George Kittle. Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings is dangerous after the catch, plus your backs like McCaffrey. And that means Trayvon Diggs has to be more physical. To be blunt, He was not engaged as a tackler against the Bucs, and he's never been a great tackler. He makes some business decisions. He's much better coming downhill than when he's kind of in pursuit or taking a sideways angle. When he's straight downhill, he'll make the play. He's got to be physical. He's got to wrap up, because if Deebo Samuel breaks a Trayvon Diggs tackle, that might be a 75-yard gain. You've got to tackle well. Missed tackles will end you against the 49ers. Today's Cowboys Report is sponsored by Geology. Geology is a 16-time award-winning skin, hair, and body care company recognized in Men's Health, GQ, and Esquire. Geology creates simple and effective skincare and healthcare routines customized just for you, with ingredients that are proven to work. Right now, for a limited time, they're hooking you up with an absolutely insane offer. Use our code ChatSports70 at chatsports.com/geology and or use the QR code on screen, and they will give you an exclusive 70% off their award-winning skin care trial set. Skincare shouldn't feel like a gamble, and Geology is the best in the skincare game. They help put an end to the darker, puffy under eyes, helps you fight acne, reduce oiliness, prevent wrinkles, gives you smoother, more hydrated skin. I have been using Geology's face wash in the morning, and their dark and puffy under eye cream, and then the retinol cream at night before going to bed, and my skin is looking great and feeling great. You can just ask my wife. And in the shower, Geology body washes smell great, are free of harsh ingredients, and are refillable. So go to chatsports.com/geology or scan the QR code right there on screen. Use code CHATSPORTS70. The link is in the description and the comments of today's video. And on top of 70% off, you'll get an exclusive bonus offer on one of their brand new skin, hair, and body products of your choice when you add it to your trial. This is one of the best offers you will see, so get it before it's gone. Number 3 thing that must happen, your offensive line / your ground game and overall supporting cast has to help you out. And that's whether your quarterback plays great or not. The ground game has not been great for Dallas, better against Tampa, but this 49ers front scares me. And that was a real problem the last time these two teams played. The quarterback did not play very well, make no mistake about it, but he was also constantly under pressure with no ground game to speak of. At a certain point, whoever your quarterback is, even if it's Mahomes, can't bail you out every single time. Eric Armstead over Biotish McGovern, that scares me. Nick Bosa against Tyler Smith or Tyron Smith scares me. That 49ers front always finds ways to get pressure, so your game plan has to be good, and your offensive line must do its job. I thought they held up quite well against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's a good defense. This is the best defense, and I think the best front seven, really, in the NFL. It is going to be a challenge. Nothing is easy against the 49ers. So with that in mind, what is your confidence level right now in the Dallas Cowboys? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1, of course, on the low end, 10 on the high end. Number 4, the Turnover Boys show up. And they brought out the Hot Boys chains. I'm going to call them the Turnover Boys because they've been really good, and I don't want to promise them the nickname and then have it blow up in my face like it did previously when they went by the Hot Boys. But I do think turnovers would be awesome in this game, and I know this. Brock Purdy will give you chances to take the football away from him. I don't know how he does it, but Brock Purdy leads the NFL, per my own made-up stat, of plays that should not work, and yet they do. Maybe even they put it as highlight throws when he's rolling off balance and lobs it downfield. It's a hospital ball that the defender misses by this much. Purdy will give you chances. There is chaos in the pocket when he drops back. And it's worked out wonderfully for him, and make no mistake, he has played very well. But this is still a bit of a Cinderella story. And Cinderella stories tend to end around the Elite Eight. So I would like to have something similar happen this time around. He will give you opportunities. You have to keep contained. You have to find ways to take that football away. There will be moments when the gunslinger Purdy gives you a chance. Take advantage of it. He has had a bunch of narrow, turnover-worthy plays that have not resulted in turnovers. At some point, those will catch up, unless he plays a very clean game, which I think you have the chance to prevent him from doing. So with that in mind, Will the Cowboys pick off Brock Purdy? Y for yes, N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's, I don't know why I said it's not the pinned comment, I'm being stupid, but you can vote for me in the comments section. Y for yes, N for no. I'm typing in Y for yes in part to speak it into existence. Pinned comment, didn't make any sense, right? The Dallas defense, though, is a very tough test for this team. I think I've given plenty of praise and flowers and compliments, whatever, to the 49ers. The Niners have not played a Cowboys defense like this. They really haven't. And frankly, they haven't played a team that can be as good as what the Cowboys have been. But you have to find a way to bring your A game. If you play like you did against the Commanders, you're getting boat raced. But like you did against the Niners last year, or against the Titans, Texans, Colts this year, it's not going to go very well. But this team has the ability, offense and defense, to not just hang with the Niners, but beat them. That's what makes for such a potentially great matchup. But the final thing, Money Maher returns. I hate that we're doing the kicker conversation because we were lucky this year to not have the kicker conversation the same way I was dreading it last year with Greg. So I was convinced he was going to cost you a game. Ended up not mattering. Well, now we're back worrying about Brett Maher. They had brought in Tristan Vizcaino. Seems like Maher will be the kicker for game day. He has been really good all year long, but they're kickers. There's a reason why I say that they are not people and I don't trust them. It's because of games like this against Tampa. Wide right, wide left, doinked it right. The snaps were not that bad. The holds were fine. The wide left was an absolute yip shank. There's no way around it. It's like you have a 3-foot putt, you get nervous, and it never hits the hole, and you got a 4-foot putt coming back because you just got nervous and you yipped it. Hopefully those are fixed for Maher. If they are not, in what I think will be a very close and hard-fought game, things might get just a little bit dicey from that standpoint. But I do think this will be a thriller. I think this will be a game that goes all the way down to the wire. Both these teams are awesome. I would not be surprised at all if the winner found a way to win the whole thing. I think that highly of both these teams because there's not that much separating team number 1 versus team number 6 in these playoffs. Get hot, make a run at the right time, have some playoff success this team has not seen in a very long time.